happen in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Aaron.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm GMLA. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also available on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
And it is hashtag Miracle Monday. We're going to talk about the universal law of perception. Whoa, it's like the power of belief, you know. So anyway, we come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, align with universal law, and have another gorgeous day in Los Angeles.
That's why we all moved to LA.
I mean, honestly, how good is the weather right now?
Sunshine in the dream.
Yes.
Well, I'm very excited to welcome our special guest this morning. Hello, everyone back in the studio, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, no one's got a case of the Mondays today.
Nope.
Isn't this
No.
beautiful? Well, we have got writer-director Nara Normand with us. She is promoting her quadruple Oscar qualifying animation.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. So here in Good Morning La La Land, we like to know about your morning routine. How do you start your day?
Normally, I grab a coffee and then start working. So, yeah, it's not so healthy, and I want to change that. But normally,
That's the first guess that was like, I'm doing something that I want to do.
but normally that's how it is. I'm living in Berlin now, and it's like so cold, so I'm not really into go running. But if I was living here, maybe I would change a little bit more.
It's hard in LA. There's no excuses for not working out, right? The weather's so nice.
No
I got plenty.
Well, thanks so much for being with us. Julia Jeffers Sadler is in the house. She's the author of Pray Big Things and hot off TLC's Rattled. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so grateful that you're starting your day with us. We know that it usually involves your triplets. Tell us a little bit about your morning routine. How do you start your day?
Yes, I wake up and pray and I read my Bible and I feed the first triplet that wakes up. So
Love
that
that. So
changes
that's how you stay
depending on-
unrattled. Right there.
Yes.
The prayer.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today. Jacob Galea is in the house. He is a success coach. Talk about Motivation Monday. Good morning, Jacob. How do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So I just I start my day with my gratitude journal. I lay in bed. I say my thank yous before I do anything, and then I hit the day in a positive vibe.
Awesome.
And so it is.
Yeah.
So it is. Mary Lee Talkington is with us. She is starring in Apple's new series, See. Good morning, Mary Lee.
Good morning. How are you?
We're so grateful that you're with us today to share your incredible journey and talk about your project. But how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
First thing I do is ask my husband to make me a cup of coffee, which he does, and he usually brings it to me in bed. And then the rest of the morning is journaling, meditation, and reading something that fills my soul. And then I start to work.
I love that. What are you reading these days?
I'm actually reading a new book by Mark Nepo, which is actually it's an old book, but it's new to me. And I love this idea that he talks about the thoroughness of being rather than success. It's actually life is actually about discovering the thoroughness of being. So I'm in that. I'm steeped in that right now.
Love that. That's fantastic.
He has a couple really amazing books.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us. Brie Klosser is in the house, also starring in See. This is going to be a really hot series. Good morning, Brie.
So glad to be here.
So how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Very carefully. But I'm so lucky to every day wake up and look at my loving partner, Dan, who's in the studio with me today. And I try to every morning hit the gym, which is, I'm very fortunate, it's just right down the block. And I've also been really getting into F45 fitness classes. They really get my heart rate going, get my day starting. And then I like to hit up a local cafe and start doing work.
Love that. F45. That's
Yeah,
right. I haven't heard that for a while.
really kicks your butt.
Yes.
Well, thank you all so much for being with us. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
And do you remember the days when you would wake up, like for school, or not wake up for school and like rush? Did you do that, or were you guys always wait? Because I remember as a kid, most of us, there were 3 of us, so it was always like a bit of a panic. Oh no, it's 6:15. Do you remember that as a kid?
I don't. I think that I'm always dazed probably in the. I'm mostly a morning person, but I don't really remember like getting ready in the morning.
I feel like Jess was probably pretty prepared in the mornings. No.
Oh, it took me forever to get ready. I intentionally missed the bus probably 99% of the time. I wanted to be I wanted to be driven from a very young age. And I had to choose what to wear and then change my clothes and then try and fix my contacts. It was a whole thing. I mean, honestly, I give my mother so many props because I took myself so seriously and she really just laughed at all my antics.
The infinite
I
patience
was,
of a mother.
I was always a morning person. I remember putting myself to sleep at 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, I'm going to sleep now.
I was pretty good as well. I was just such an anxious kid that I always felt like I needed to prepare for everything.
You'd have all your clothes
Oh my gosh, totally, yeah.
No, I was never one of
I
those.
wanted to match everything.
Oh
and
no, yeah,
it
no.
was
I was
a
never
problem.
that person.
I always just wanted options.
So speaking of, I went out with a couple girlfriends. I ran into Jazz. We ran into each other on Friday night. Yeah, we were at Chiconi's, and I had an ambassador in from back east, and we're like, well, let's just share something. There's a special, we'll get the fish, we'll share it. And then she's like, well, let's get the risotto on the side because it was like a special, and I was like,
It did
okay.
sound amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it was a truffle risotto. We're like, whatever. So we get the bill, and the risotto was $150 because it was like,
all right.
I was like, oh, interesting. So it was,
Fresh
it was
truffle.
fine, but I thought, well, if I was on a date, I would have felt awful.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind paying
look,
for it.
as a
but-
guy, I have to say, I've never been on a date that was less than $150. When you go on a date that's less than $150?
No, just
right?
the risotto.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're just now beginning to have the meal.
It was so funny.
Didn't count before that.
If you're not, in the West Hollywood neighborhood, Chiconi's is a really great Italian
Great place.
scene. By
It's
the
a
way.
scene, yeah.
All beautiful people, incredibly beautiful food, and so to no surprise, when I show up at the bar and I was out with a friend, we went to an art gallery, went to the Marco Grossi opening in West Hollywood, Italian contemporary artist. Beautiful paintings. We're like, let's go for pizza. So we walk in, and there's Erin, of course, dripping in glamour. And she's like, hi, I've just got to tell you, don't order the risotto. Okay? It's $150.
Just FYI.
Noted.
Well, they should let you know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's really one of those things. We're like, we'll have one of those sides. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. But it was fine. We love Chiconi's.
great
One of the
place.
most amazing places ever.
Super awesome. Everybody was having great meals this weekend. I did go to 1212 for a friend of mine's birthday. He's a musician.
How was it?
It was super cool. And then we went to Wally's. There's a Wally's in Santa Monica now.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
you've been. Yeah.
Oh, Wally's is amazing.
Wally's
Yes.
is like the quintessential wine
It's
and
amazing.
cheese place.
Yeah.
All community tables, by the way,
Yeah.
so it's got really good vibes.
Yeah, it's super good. And then I went to a beautiful event yesterday in Santa Monica, a series with Craig and Sarah Clemens and some incredible speakers. And it brings me to one of the speakers was Anthony Trucks, and he was a former NFL player, and he gave this beautiful talk.
With a name like Truck,
Right?
it's gotta be.
He has a really
Trucks.
beautiful story. So he was actually put up for adoption at 3 years old and went through multiple homes and really was, angry and all stuff. And he found his place in the NFL because he was finally able to get some of his aggression out and find his place. But then when he left the NFL, he was like, he didn't know what his identity was. He says it's a big deal for the NFL players. But so we really talked about identity, which is interesting because it's the same thing we talk about in spirituality. It's all an identity shift and finding what you really want as your identity.
Yeah.
So that brings us to today's topic, which is about universal law of perception, which is really, again, about belief or your identity. So you're such a powerful spiritual being that the moment that you even conceive yourself to be something, you set an entire stream of things into motion in the universe.
Now, I think this is a very important topic because in knowing that, then the second any sort of self-doubt creeps in, which inevitably it will, the closer you get to your perceived success, the louder those voices become. And it's so scary because you don't want to even acknowledge that, but it still happens. So how do you avoid that? So you don't
great
have
question.
to accidentally speak that into existence. Because I'm like, oh no, I want what's there, not what this little person's saying.
Yeah.
for
Such
you.
a great question. We often talk in positive psychology about confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is simply really a self-fulfilling prophecy that plays itself out. And you see it actually show up on Instagram all the time. We call it algorithmic editing. It's the same thing. It's that more you sort of choose something, the more it chooses you, right? So you look for that bag and all of a sudden,
Confirmation
bias.
Bias.
Yes.
I love that.
Exactly. And so it goes back to this sort of selective perception, selective attention thing.
Yeah.
And so it is so important that you find a sort of happier, healthier way of viewing yourself, but also viewing the world so that you can, be inspired to success.
We call it also the wall of fire. Like when your identity is being challenged, because it is a true identity. I think it's some of the hardest work you'll ever do is to die off from that identity and be reborn as a new identity. That's the whole shift of all of it.
But even with your die off a new identity, you're still going to have doubts. You're still going to have moments where you question yourself, right? Or then do you all of a sudden just never doubt yourself ever again?
Well, I think that that's the point of having a spiritual practice, because when you tap into your higher self, it's like a knowingness and allness, and so you come from that space and then you come back down. But yeah, I think there's always a place where you have to live on faith before it's confirmed in reality. So that's where your faith, the stronger faith you have, the easier going through those walls
I've been living
are.
on a prayer for a long time.
Living on a prayer, just like Madonna says. Work for her. Why can't it work for you?
I'm going for it.
It's all good. But anyway, the universal law of perception is basically that you are that powerful that the minute you even perceive anything to be, the universe has to agree with it. It has to align it, at least in your experience of life. So today, we invite you to just take a look at what identity you have, what perception, what belief you have of yourself and the world, and begin to broaden that.
Yeah.
You are going to make it after all.
That's right. On that note, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to our amazing guests of how they have used their mindfulness, making miracles in their life. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
I'm so excited to be here on the couch with all you amazing people.
Yeah.
I'm just in complete awe. Thank you.
Happy to be here. And for those who don't know what goes on, this is a big old, there's a lot going on here. You do this every day.
Live.
God bless you guys. I mean, people, there's a lot going on.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I feel that, actually. I can feel that.
How exciting Motivation Monday. And the guests this morning have been incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
And we have Rachel Boston, who is in The Last Bridesmaid on Hallmark. It actually is dropping tomorrow, the 22nd, right?
It is. Tomorrow night's our premiere.
Woo!
Congratulations. I am so excited to welcome Jason and Ashley Waller to the show. Congratulations on the new beginnings. We're so excited for the premiere on MTV tonight.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you.
The book is actually being shipped out today. It published this week.
What?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You guys are
Super
the
cool.
first show that I've actually done talking about the book.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
Our friends at Universal Pictures have a special delivery for us this morning from a tethered himself.
Ooh.
Have you seen the film?
Us by Academy Award winner
gosh.
Jordan Peele.
You know, I'm sitting here next to you guys, and it's just like, this is a powerful moment for me. Like, you know, I'm humbled by it, because it's like I'm sharing this movie with you guys, and you know, it's moving for me.
What are you most grateful for today?
I am so grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to be with all these wonderful, badass boss babes and with all of you. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to share the positive messages out in the world, because I think the world really needs it right now.
What we've done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
and I thought,
nice. That's
this
great.
is what my purpose is. This is why I was born.
Now,
Show the camera.
up to you to choose the winner. Is it Annie? Is it Haley?
That's why I like this show. You know, years ago I did the Dinah Show, which is Dinah Shore, and it was a daytime show. And it was kind of like this. And it was just like very up, and it was all positive stuff. They didn't bring negative stuff to the audience. And that's why I feel with this show. It's very relaxed. You know, it's very professional, but it's quite a bit of fun.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch. Binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
First TV experience. I'm so happy I did it with you.
Uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning Lala. We're talking about the universal law of perception. And some of the greatest things that have helped us expand our perception is TV shows and actors and actresses and all the stories here in Hollywood. So we have Brie Clauser in the house. She is an actress, singer, voice actor, and you have a new show on Apple TV for C. Tell us all about it.
Yes. So C is a world-building drama of sorts, starring Jason Momoa and Alfre, which is incredible to work with them. It takes place 600 years in the future. Whoa. And there is a virus that wipes out most of humanity and leaves everyone who is left without sight. And the story revolves around this tribe where Jason's character is the leader of. And there are these babies born who happen to be born with sight. And this is forbidden, and there's prophecies, and the whole point is.
Sounds like today.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah. But what's so interesting is that for 600 years, since humanity has been without sight, the world has kind of healed, and we're in this kind of naturalistic setting with relics of our modern world. And it's interesting to see how people have evolved. Certain characters in the show, I play a warrior character who is part of the tribe named Matal, and she has foresight ability. She's empath of sorts, but they call it a presage. Wow. And there are other characters in the show with other extra sensory abilities because we
love this.
And it makes you think this might actually happen. Maybe in the it's not just science fiction. Well, maybe in the distant future, who knows? People will like evolve their senses.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the trailer for Apple TV's C.
The moment has come.
Centuries from now, almost all humans have lost the ability to see. Some say sight was taken from them by God to heal the earth. For the few who remain, vision is only a myth.
I have to keep you safe.
The moment has come.
It's astonishing how the smallest moment can change an entire world.
So I'm buying my
Sign
tickets
me
today.
up.
Today I'm buying my tickets. I haven't.
$4.99 a month.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes,
less than
exactly.
a cup of coffee, right?
It's nothing, exactly.
Yeah.
So I had an uncle, he made a transition, but it's interesting, when he lost his sight in real life, his spiritual wisdom seemed to grow. And we would always joke, oh, my Uncle Leslie, he walks by faith, not by sight, right? And I wonder, in your life, in your experience, has that been part of your journey and part of the key that's led to your success in Hollywood?
Well, I was born visually impaired. I identify as low vision, but technically I'm considered legally blind, which is a fancy word for can't drive a car. For everyone else's safety and my own. And so I only know my own reality and my own perception. But I was very lucky to have a mother who never saw me as a disabled child. And she's very spiritual, and she has been through a lot of hardship. She was a nurse's aide growing up until she got sick, and she has a form of vasculitis that has first affected her brain and her entire body. But doctors have told her she only had 10 years to live, and now it's 20 years later. So, and I attribute this to her sheer willpower, not as just a mother, but a human being. Yeah. And she instilled that in both me and my older brother, who actually has the same condition. It's called achromatopsia. It's a 1 out of 30,000 chances of a like inherited type of thing.
As a doctor of divinity, we say, you know, listen to the diagnosis, but not the prognosis, because there is a possibility, which is the power of mind, the power of healing, and also. So tell us, we often say that acting is one of the highest forms of profession because it really is the ultimate way of having an expression of different identities. What other roles have you played? Is there a particular role that you'd love to play for a particular identity?
Oh, well, I do like the idea of accurately representing people who are low vision, but as an actor, I don't want to be limited. And I really do love science fiction, and I love comedy. I love that Star Trek is coming back, and I'm like, you know, I have the right eyes to be a Betazoid.
Just say you're going to go and manifest
just saying,
that.
Patrick Stewart. He's actually my neighbor. He's in Park Slope with me. So
awesome.
Yeah, but I came from a theater background, and this is actually like my on-camera debut. So it was so exciting to be in such a huge project, directed by Francis Lawrence, who has set the bar so high for directors.
Beautiful.
He is so patient and organized, and he listens. Like Marilee Talkington and I, who you'll meet later, we are one of only 2 recurring characters who are actually low vision in this show. And all of that I've heard is that everyone has really appreciated our presence on set, because we're teaching them not necessarily how to be blind, because you can't teach that. It's a lived experience, just like, you know, everyone's own spirituality. Everyone brings their own lived experience, but the authenticity of representing what this is like. And Francis and the whole team, they really listened to us as far as how to respect this community and how to use respectful language. And it was just such a gift to work with all these wonderful creatives.
We see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work and all your art that you're bringing to the world.
Thank you so much.
How do people find and follow your personal journey?
You can find me on Instagram at Brie Klauser, Brie with 2 E's, Klauser with a K, or find me on brieklauser.com. And make sure to watch See on Apple TV Plus. It comes out November 1st. It's only on Apple TV Plus, only $4.99 a month.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Right.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Tell me where I'm holding. If you could describe the legacy you want to leave behind in a couple of words, what would it be?
You know, the person who made a massive dent
in the world of loneliness. You know, it's the #1 health epidemic that we're facing in the world today. It's the #1 predictor of our mortality. It's more likely to kill you than smoking, heart disease, traffic, the flu, sitting. And if I can make a dent in the world of loneliness, then that to me is everything.
Aw, I love your message and I love your story. And for you guys out there, go download Hey Vina. It's really, really remarkable. I downloaded it. They ask questions that actually help target who you're looking for and who you're looking to network with and become friends with. Thank you. If you like this, please share it, please comment it, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited to welcome Mary Lee Talkington to the show. She is an actress and a true artist warrior, starring, of course, in Apple's new series, See. Mary Lee, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
Yeah, we are loving your show.
Wow.
My gosh, it looks intense.
It's epic. I mean, it's truly epic. It's unprecedented in so many ways. It's, I believe, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, that it's the largest budget television show in history.
Wow.
Yes. In history.
Well, all those iPhones we bought, they better be going to good use.
That's right. That's right. That's what's funding this show. Thank you very much for buying
The show looks truly epic. The cast is incredible. Jason Momoa, obviously star of Game of Thrones. Tell us a little bit about your experience working among such great artists.
Well, so working with Francis Lawrence in particular, I think that he's one of the great visionaries right now in Hollywood. And what Bree was saying is that his level of not just patience, but he brings in this level of groundedness throughout every moment of shooting. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of people on set that are all like, we got to get the shot, we got to get the shot, and you have this one presence that comes in and literally cradles the space and said, let's create some art. There's something very magical that can happen, and everybody can do their best work there instead of people coming in and micromanaging, right? That was truly extraordinary. Working with somebody like Alfre Woodard, when I found out that I was working with her, because she's somebody who not only is this incredibly gorgeous, brilliant talent and amazing human, but she's a woman of color that actually authentically represented, and has broken glass ceilings in her own life and career. And as a legally blind woman, I'm one of the first and have been in pretty much every single space I've been into. So being able to work alongside somebody who knows what that feels like is really quite an extraordinary, it's an extraordinary space to be in.
Wow. So today we're talking a little bit about universal law of perception, and clearly you've broken past the stigma of the perception of wherever you are. How did you do that?
How am I doing that? Right? Because it's a process.
And it's endless.
It's an endless process. I really loved what you were saying up there. Somebody was talking about doubt. And when doubt comes up, that doesn't end. It does not end. And when, I'll speak for myself, but this is why I meditate and I journal every single day, is that I'm speaking to this wiser part of myself. And she keeps informing me, saying, you are right, you are whole, you are full. The world will say otherwise. The world has all these limiting beliefs about you as a woman, as a person who's legally blind, but you are actually a whole, valid, authentic being that can go and expand. And that time that I spend every morning communing with myself is invaluable. And when I don't do it, I feel it, right? I kind of feel jittery throughout the day, and the doubts start getting very, very loud. So I have cultivated practices to really make sure that I move through the world in a heart-centered way, and in a way that I'm fully expanding in every moment, or feel like I am.
I love that you identify as an artist warrior. We took those words right off your Instagram profile.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, because I'm an actor, writer, and director. And one of the things that I'm interested in terms of creating art in general, because I've been doing this for about 25 years, is creating work that basically breaks the status quo. It just shatters it, because that's so limited. And you kind of have to be a warrior when you're in that space, because there's always people that say, no, 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 we don't want to change. Keep it how it is. We're very comfortable there. And you have to be willing to be that person that says, let's evolve. Let's go a little bit further. Let's do something a little bit more interesting. Let's evolve our aesthetic. And being one of the first, you're gonna take hits. It's just the nature of how it goes. And you have to build that inner warrior to make sure that you keep going and you stay healthy along the way.
It's profound. I think what I love most about it too is it sounds like the journey of sort of a peaceful warrior, because you have this incredible ability to partner with people as you do battle.
Yes.
And I think that's fantastic and phenomenally inspiring. How do you do that, and what have you learned about that?
Oh, wow, that's such a good question, because that's the hard part, right? I mean, I feel like any person that's part of a marginalized group, anger comes up. It's there, it lives. How do you take that anger and say, I see you, I'm not gonna deny you, but I'm gonna transmute you into something that is good. And that's where the peaceful warrior comes in, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we, as humans, find others who are fighting the fight and doing it with love rather than aggression?
Yes.
And it's hard. It can be hard, right?
So hard.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I get angry about stuff. I want the world to have evolved already. I want those limiting beliefs to have been broken. So it's surrounding. I surround myself with people who live in that space.
So good. Well, we all want what you're having.
Yeah.
Clearly, you have a lot of passion. You love what you're doing, and
do.
it shows in every ounce of your beingness. So thank you.
Thank
for all
you.
the work you're doing for women, for representing for everyone.
Yes.
All faith, all whatever. So yeah. So tell people where they can find and follow your personal journey.
Artist Warrior, an Artist Warrior. I'm on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm actually quite active on Facebook. I post a lot there. So those are the two places you can go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on Good Morning Wildland.
You watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Welcome to the show. Today we have Life Master Tony Lanning. Oh, today we have a very special guest, Alon Torres. Today we have a very special guest, Mark Harari, on the show, and he is you have really inspired me, because you walk the walk, you talk the talk.
It's never too late, no matter what your age. Doesn't matter if you're young, it doesn't matter if you're older.
Over the last 10 plus years, 12 years, it's been this journey where as I was continuing to help others, I was helping myself. As I went deeper, I was able to bring people deeper.
But you've got to put it aside. You've got to put
Right,
it
that's
aside
one of his
because-
tips, is leave the at the door.
Drop it at the door.
But we can't give you too many more little tips, because we're going to give away the whole thing. But there is a video if you click below.
I'm Life Master Tony Lanning.
Yay! See how easy that was?
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La Land. We are so excited to have the concept of pray big things. I mean, this is such a big part of our lives here in Good Morning La Land. It's really about the mindset and getting to that knowingness of the allness. So Julia Sadler is in the house. She has an amazing book right here. You had triplets. You had triplets. You were diagnosed that you would never have children, and then you prayed and had 3 triplets, and you're on the show Rattle.
Yes.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes. So I wrote Pray Big Things after just one of the most exciting but also challenging times of our life in marriage. We actually had 3 miscarriages in less than a year. And and we just kept praying super specifically and boldly and ended up conceiving our miracle triplets.
I would love for you to speak a little bit, though, to your relationship with your husband, because infertility can be one of the most trying things to any partnership.
Yes.
So how did the two of you navigate that?
Yes, so my husband is awesome. So I just have to say that people like, they see me with the triplets and it's like this long stroller. They're like, how do you do this? We pray every morning and have an incredible husband. So major shout out to Ryan. But Ryan and I are both grounded in the same belief in salvation through Christ. And we believe that God has a purpose and a plan for the things we go through. And so that foundation is what kept us strong.
Is it true that you were like loves from junior high?
Yes. Yeah, I liked him more than he liked me. And we met when we were 14, which was nice. It'd be cool to say we dated the whole time, but we broke up a lot. So, but going strong, 10 years of marriage. So,
and also surviving a reality show, which can be very trying on relationships beyond, infertility and then triplets and then a reality show.
Yes. So that was something we actually prayed for. So after experiencing 3 miscarriages in a year, we were really open about our struggles on social media and with our ministry. We both work at a church, and we found out it's 6.1 million American women struggling with infertility. And so many people reached out connecting with this story. And then when we conceived the miracle triplets, we were like, people need to hear this. People need to hear that God still performs miracles and that there is hope even in suffering and struggles. And so we were like, well, we're on a roll. So we started praying for an opportunity to share that story, and TLC reached out to us.
Wow, yeah.
It was really neat.
We have we always say that miracles are only glitches in your current belief system. So tell us about how you're doing now. You're done with the reality show.
Yes.
Your book's out. How do you spend your days? Obviously I know you pray in the morning. How do you keep your faith throughout the day? What do you do?
Yes, I just have so much free time. No, I'm just kidding.
Behind that stroller.
No problem. I spend a lot of energy wanting that faith instilled in our children. And so we start the morning. I'm a pastor's kid, and so all the stereotypes that go along with that, but I want them to have a really good memory and association with scripture and with worship songs. So we pray in the morning. We sing worship songs first and then do more show tunes. So but I spend a lot of time with them. I'm also a girls minister, so I do a lot of ministry and counseling for 12 to 18-year-olds, and then I have online ministry for women struggling with infertility.
That's fascinating. I wonder, I've always been really interested and intrigued by sort of the idea and experience of faith. And I think I've swung on that pendulum where you want to sort of pray or have faith with a feather, very light sort of touch, versus sort of forcing it sometimes. And I wonder what works for you. How do you pray these big prayers, but do so in a way that lets you feel increasingly relaxed and not like you're trying to force something to happen?
That's a great question. So what the book Pray Big Things talks about, we look at what my foundation is scripture in the Bible, and so we look at what the Bible says about prayer. And it says, you have not because you ask not, James 4:2. 1 Corinthians talks about how no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. So it's praying specifically for those things we want, those desires that God has given us, while understanding that God has a plan and he knows what he's doing even when we don't understand.
So pray big and bold. Julia, thank you so much for sharing. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your family's journey.
Yeah, so typical millennial, Instagram, Julia J. Sadler, the Sadler triplets, but also I have a website, Julia J. Sadler, and I bring my therapist and triplet mom life into that.
So great.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Good morning, All End. Stories of people changing the world. Ever Talk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Today I'm officially coming out of the closet as a mother. I've never publicly announced it. I've been a model for 15 years, and now I'm finally letting people know I have 2 kids. I have a 16-year-old son, and my 13-year-old son will be 14 in another month and a half. Obviously explaining that I have a 16-year-old, people are going to be like, "Wait, how old are you?" And I'm under 40. I'm 36. Okay, let's just get that out there.
Oh wow!
Coming out of the closet again.
You came out twice already today.
I know. Oh my gosh! I hope that our viewers are watching this to realize that When you have a passion and when it pays the bills and you can live a good life and provide for your children, there should be no shame in what you do.
Right.
EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning Lawland. I'm so excited to welcome an incredible writer, director, the creator of Guashuma, 4-time Oscar qualifier film. Congratulations.
Thank you. Actually 5 because
5.
We won yesterday New Orleans Film Festival.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. South by Southwest, TIFF, New Orleans. I mean, these are some of the most coveted prizes. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Actually, it's a very personal story that I talk, and it's so crazy that's going all over the world and winning so many awards. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the story itself and why it is so personal to you.
So it's about my memories, about my childhood that I spent on the beach. I'm from Brazil, so I come from the northeast of Brazil. And it's about freedom and childhood and growing up. Losing, so I wrote this film after I lost my best friend, and so then I decided to write this film, and I think it's really sincere. I wrote it with my heart, I directed with my heart, and I think the people can feel it.
Was it hard writing and then directing this film because you had lived it, to large extent? So
Yeah, actually it was very hard in the beginning. At the same time, I thought I had to do it. Because I had to do this film. So the beginning was sad. But then now I'm very satisfied with the film. I'm very happy to share this story because I talk about many things that I lived on the beach that was really nice.
Wow. Let's take a look at the trailer for Guashuma.
Fiz muitas viagens de volta a Guaxuma. É um pouco estranho voltar para o lugar que a gente passou a infância. Os meus amigos cresciam. E a distância entre a gente também. Eu e a Taira, a gente conseguiu manter nossa amizade. A gente podia passar muito tempo sem se ver. Mas quando a gente se via, era como se nada tivesse mudado. Ela era a única que sabia de todos os meus segredos. E eu os dela.
So beautiful. So take us to that moment, when your dear friend transitioned. And so what was that? How did that change your perception of life?
You mean when she died, you mean? Yeah. Actually, I was very afraid of dying and everybody around me. Oh my God. And then I really thought was like, oh, how life is beautiful and I have to live it and I don't have to be afraid of, So I started, it was very, very important for me. It was a really big change in my life, actually.
So one of the things I love about the film is that you use these still pictures and these sketches. And what inspired you to use that kind of imagery in the film?
Actually, I work with sand, so it's all sand, handcrafted animation. So we see like colored sand, so wet sand that I sculpted, and also puppets set on the beach, really. And I liked it. I wanted to put my photos, my real photos, and play a little bit with all these images. Because in the film I talk about memories, I talk about dreams, and they all come to our minds in different ways. Sometimes we remember more, and sometimes we just have flash. So I wanted to mix techniques to talk about this story. So but related with sand, because sand's the story is there at the beach, but also it's this metaphor of time, of changing. And I wanted to work with sand, so it was really hard process. That's actually almost 3 years to do the film. Yes, and very slowly because draw animation with the glass, animators drawing little by little, every frame. So
it reminds me of it's not Hindu, it's the Buddhism, they do all the different things with sand, and it must have been a real meditation for you.
Actually, it's very meditative.
Yeah, for sure.
As a
Developing you.
director and as an artist, what would you say your mission is?
My mission. Actually, I like to share beautiful and sincere stories. So I think I want to touch the people and the audience with these stories that can be very simple, but can be very deep. And I think I like to share this kind of stories.
Yeah, simple is profound, right? Absolutely. Thank you so much for inspiring.
Yeah.
So what's next for you on this journey with Washima?
Yeah, so actually we are Oscar qualified, so we're making some, we're trying to spread the news about the film. And I'm writing my first feature film also now. It's not animation, it's live action. And so now I'm based in Berlin making a filmmaker's residence to write the film. And hopefully next year we're shooting and yeah.
Wait, you're going to live action? You're going from animation in the sand to live action. She's like, I don't want to make any more sandcastles. I'm done with this.
Yeah, it depends on the story I want to talk. So that's why I'm working with actors. But I'm coming back to the beach that I shot. Guaxuma, actually, it's the name of the beach I was born. This is the name of the film. So I'm coming back there, but not with puppets, with real people now.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm so incredibly excited to watch your journey. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you and support the film.
So it's on Instagram, yeah, and actually Guaxuma will be on Vimeo premiere and staff pictures on 23 November. So you can also.
It's a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nora.
Thank you.
We'll be right
Thank
back
you for having me.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're talking a little bit about basically your perception of yourself, your beliefs, how you see yourself and how you see all of life. So no one better than an amazing success coach here. Jacob Galea is in the house. He is an author, a speaker. His book is called Birth of a Super You.
Yeah, love that.
I love that.
You're super well dressed.
Thank you.
Love that.
You too, my man.
So Jacob, how did you discover your super you?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. I was fighting for the Australian karate team. I'm a black belt in martial arts. And I got taught very early in life about the power of intuition. And at the age of 19, I met a mentor. And this mentor really challenged the way I think, the way I feel, what I do. And I unraveled this box of magic and wizardry of alchemy through the subconscious mind. And I learned how to tap into this super version of myself.
Love that.
Wow.
How? Everybody wants to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do that.
Well, how
Of
about
course,
you're having?
You know, they'll probably have to work with you, contact you. But how can they start at least begin to tap into that?
Yeah, I think the first thing, most important that I learned is to really trust my intuition. You know, you got to look at when you grow up in school, no one really teaches you how to use the mind. Yeah, like your parents don't teach you, at school they don't teach you, at university or college you don't teach you, you go in the workforce, no one teaches you that we as humans only use 10% of our brain. But there's 90% to be unlocked, that this subconscious programming, no one really knows. So I think the first thing I tell my guys is educate yourself on the power of the subconscious mind. Because once you learn how to tap into that, there is a well of discovery that, wow, like I get goosebumps talking about it.
So how do you tap in? So take us maybe through can you take us through a process?
Absolutely. So I think, look, I mean, you guys talk about it a lot, and I love your work, but meditation is really important. You know, if you don't go within, you go without, and it's as simple as that. So you got to go within. Second of all, I think you've got to learn to trust your gut. You know, we have two brains. We have this one and we have this one. And you know, I've gone against all odds in everything I've done in my life by trusting my gut. When I left school, I got an apprenticeship, and I was working on a factory floor. You know, my father said, if you get a trade, you'll have a job for life, and old school conditioning. And I did that. And then, you know, there was this inner voice saying, there's something else for you, something better. And I went against the family, and I went against everything to go and follow this dream. And you've really got to learn how to listen to what's going on within.
But in doing that, then you still have to not listen to all the voices that are going on around you, right?
Absolutely.
If you went against the family and you went against your environment and your community, there's a lot of times people who just fall back into their safe patterns.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think conditioning and the way people are conditioned can be good and bad. It's like wiring. Like people, you know, you get an update on your phone and you update the software, but I say to my audiences when I do my talks around the world, how many times have you upgraded your software? So most people are leaving, like I work with some 55, 60-year-olds that are running the same software from 40 years ago. Yeah, so they're not upgrading their software. So, you know, we become a product of our environment. So, you know, a good seed can't grow in bad soil. So what's really important is if you put a good seed in good soil, around good people, and eat good things and be in positive environment, you have to grow. And it's all about growth. That's what it's about. You know, I say when I do my talks around the world, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So just do something different every day that gets you outside your comfort zone, that enables you to grow.
That's fantastic. Who have been some of the folks in your life that have inspired you the most or taught you the most?
The most humble people, you know, like, you know, I'm lucky, I'm blessed, I've got some amazing, wealthy clients and beautiful people I'm around. But to be honest, the most simple people that, you know, we can sit down and have a pizza with or a salad with, just simplicity. People that are real and authentic, you know, no BS and not trying to be someone. That's what I love. I just love authenticity.
I love that.
On that.
So who's your client? You help people also get to the next level.
Yes.
You say. So what does that mean? You work with entrepreneurs, you work with businesses, or all the above?
Yeah, so my client base includes all of the above, entrepreneurs, business people, but really anybody that wants to get to the next level in their life. And I don't mind whether you're a cleaner or you're a CEO. If you've got a heart and you want to go to the next level, I want to work with you because, you know, it's not about status or title. You know, it's about heart. So if you've got heart and hunger, then, you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to, no problem.
What's the common denominator of the clients you work with that are really holding them back?
Look, I think a couple of things. I think number one is fear. Fear is a big thing for people that they don't want to step into the unknown because they're comfortable where they are and they don't know what's going to happen. So they stay in fear and they would rather not do than do. Is probably the most common. And then the other one is people around them. The anchors that hold them back, that say, oh, look, you know, they're negative talk. The property market's down, the stock market's down. You can't do this, you can't do that. Well, why not? What if I can? And again, you become a product of your environment. So I say to people, be very fussy who you spend time with, because who you spend time with is who you become.
I just love that. And it reminds me, you know, I think the most extraordinary people to me are always the people that are able to embody this unconditional version of faith.
Yes.
And of success, where they always, no matter what's happening around them, feel deeply focused and passionate and optimistic about what's to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you do that? How do you stay full of faith and full of focus when everything around you is falling apart?
I think the most important for me is pray. You know, whether it's universal energy or the spiritual laws of abundance, but some sort of connectedness. I label it as prayer, but it doesn't really matter what you follow. I just believe that there's got to be a space in time and a dimension in your day where you tap into the other dimensions and the other universal energies and not stay on this flat plane that everybody else is walking on, right? Because we exist here, but success and happiness is up here. So if we're vibrating down here, we attract to that vibration, yeah? But the minute you raise your vibration, the minute you magnetically attract the things that also vibrate up there.
Love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have any hacks to raising your vibes?
Hacks?
Yeah, literally hacks, because some people can't oh, now I'm just going to feel positive. They literally have to hack their way into it.
Yeah, look, I think the biggest hack, honestly, is self-belief. if you believe in yourself, like I think, especially today with social media, where a lot of people get wrong is they're judging. They're watching all these people and going, look, I should look like that. I should be like that. You know, I'm just me and you're just you. If we just be each other and the best versions of us, that's the best hack you can do, because I think you're not trying to play in someone else's dimension. You're not trying to play in someone else's energy. It's like, I own who I am and I just want to be who I am, because that's why I was brought here. So that's why I follow that intuition. And the hack is just be you. You know, don't try and compete with anybody.
Well, I would say put on your favorite outfit.
Yeah.
Listen to your favorite music. I mean, if you are not feeling your best self and in your vibes and you can't get there, fake it till you make it. But in a way, not really faking it, but what brings that out in you? For me, it's expression through fashion and music and art. And for some people, it might be in the food they cook.
Yeah.
To really take them to that space.
Absolutely.
So Jacob, tell us, if someone's going to work with you, how would they find you? Do you work one-on-one? Do you have groups? Do you have talks?
All of the above. Yeah, I do motivational seminars. I'm about to bring out my online program in the next 6 months as well, which is why we're doing a USA tour as well. But my Instagram's Jacob Galea Official, and my website's just jacobgalea.com. So it's fantastic, this world where we can connect.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.